Hey everyone, it's Dr. H, your friendly working guide at the Air Command and Staff College, here to give you a quick word about SEED, the suppression of enemy air defenses, and Wild Weasel. The game uses the term Wild Weasel. We're using the term SEED because it's doctrinally correct. So just step one, both of those things are interchangeable with each other for the purposes that we're going to discuss here. The game comes with specific SEED units, but that's not really how SEED works. With the exception of the E-18 Growler, no single airplane is dedicated to the SEED role. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to produce separate SEED markers, which you're going to put on top of your aircraft, put on top of an aircraft to create a White Weasel or a SEED plane. When you do that, you're going to transition the bottom part of the marker to 4 parentheses WW. The 4 parentheses means its air-to-air value is 4, but it's parentheses. It doesn't shoot. That's only for purposes of it getting shot at. The WW means it's going to count for the rules as a Wild Weasel. It's conducting C. So note that that's just the bottom part. Everything else stays the same. So if you attach a SEED marker to, say, an F-35, it's still stealthy. It still conducts SEED, right? It still will conduct SEED and do SEED strikes. Note that having an attached SEED aircraft or Wild Weasel aircraft gives diral modifiers to the defender for detection, so it's harder to detect a unit protected by a Wild Weasel unit. Gives modifiers to units with SAMs. And also, if the Wild Weasel unit is conducting a strike, it gets a special line. So note that we come over here to our strike table, and there is a line air defense tracks. This is the only time you're going to use this line. There are no air defense tracks in the game, but this is the only time you're going to use that line. You're going to read over to Wild Weasel, and you're going to use that column for the strike. So that's what happens when you use SEED. This is a sort of singular ability for the Allies. Nobody really does this. It's mostly the Americans and our friends that had the opportunity to use this. Most countries outside of the West don't do suppression of enemy air defenses. So that's going to be a change from the way that the game does things to how we're going to do things largely. So keep that in mind, right, as an option. SEED is an option for you. So this has been about that. Remember, marker changed to 4WW. Wild Weasel and SEED are interchangeable, right? So it's a SEED mission, but it's going to come out as a Wild Weasel. It affects detection. It affects SAM fire. And if it's conducting the strike and not an escort, that's important to remember. If it's the strike against an enemy unit, against an enemy SAM unit, it gets its own line. But the only thing it can strike is SAM units. So this has been a quick video about the suppression of enemy air defenses and how it's going to work in our game going forward. So thank you for your attention. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.